Chapter 31, Section 5, Population Shifts to Suburbs and Sunbelt States. In 1941, Bill and Alfred Levitt won a government contract to build thousands of homes for workers in Norfolk, Virginia. At first, everything went wrong. Skilled workers were in short supply. The schedule was too tight. It looked like they would miss their deadlines and lose money. The Levitts decided to rethink how they built homes. They broke the construction process into 27 steps. Then they hired and trained 27 teams of workers, each of which specialized in just one step. By the time the project ended, they had revolutionized the process of building homes. Middle-class families moved to the suburbs. No industry had suffered more during the Depression and war years than the home building industry. Housing starts had dropped from more than 1 million new homes a year to fewer than 100,000. By war's end, housing was in such short supply that 250 used trolley cars were sold as homes in Chicago. Returning veterans were eager to buy homes and start families. The GI Bill was ready to assist them with home loans at low interest rates, but there were very few homes to buy. The Levitt brothers knew exactly how to help those veterans use those loans. In 1947, they began to work on Levittown, the first planned community in the nation. It was located on Long Island, about 20 miles from New York City. By 1951, the brothers had built 17,447 homes around Levittown. They would go on to build 2 more Levittowns in Pennsylvania and New Jersey by 1960. To keep costs down, the Levitts built small, boxy, almost identical homes with 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. Different work crews moved from house to house doing only one job. There were tile crews and floor crews. One team specialized in white paint, while another one applied red paint. By mass-producing their homes in this way, the Levitts greatly sped up production. By 1948, the Levitts were building 36 houses a day. They also kept their prices under $8,000. The first Levittown in New York was a kind of suburb called a bedroom community. Most people who lived there commuted by car or public transportation to jobs in New York City. Although a commute could be tiring, countless young families jumped at the chance to live in a clean, safe, child-friendly suburb. Between 1950 and 1956, the number of Americans living in suburban communities increased by 46%. As a group, these new suburbanites were overwhelmingly white and middle class. Many suburbs, including Levittown, did not sell to African Americans. Indeed, this homogeneity was part of the appeal of the suburbs. "Everybody lives in the same side of the tracks," observed the Saturday Evening Post in 1954. "They have no slums to fret about, no families of conspicuous wealth to envy, no traditional upper crust to whet and thwart their social aspirations." Weather and wages spurred migration to the Sunbelt. Americans were not only on the move from cities to suburbs, they were also moving from the northern half of the country to the Sunbelt. This belt of warm weather states stretched across the southern third of the United States, from Florida to California. After World War II, manufacturers and other businesses began locating in the Sunbelt. They were attracted by low labor costs. In addition, unions were less entrenched in the Sunbelt states than in the older industrial regions of the North. The Sunbelt tourist industry also grew as families flocked to sunny beaches and new attractions like Disneyland. As businesses moved south, people followed. California felt the effects of this migration as much as any state. Between 1950 and 1960, California's population grew by 50%, from about 10.6 million to more than 15.7 million people. Other Sunbelt states experienced similar growth. 2 advances in technology made this large population shift possible. The first was the design and construction of massive water projects in the arid Southwest. These projects involved building dams on major rivers to capture precious water in huge reservoirs. This water was then distributed through a system of canals and aqueducts to fast-growing cities such as Phoenix, Arizona, Las Vegas, Nevada, and Los Angeles, California. The second key technology was the development of room air conditioners designed for home use. Air conditioning made summer bearable in Sunbelt states like Florida and Arizona. Annual sales of room air conditioners jumped from around 30,000 in 1946 to more than 1 million by 1953.